Brought to you by 1AAuto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet.
Hi, I'm Mike from 1AAuto. I hope this how-to video helps you out. And next time you need parts for your vehicle, think of 1AAuto.com. Thanks.
In this video, we're going to show you how to remove and install new door handles. This is a 2007 Yukon Denali. This procedure is pretty much similar for Yukon Denali as well as the Sierra Denali, Yukon and Sierra SLT series, and Chevy Silverado, Tahoe, and Suburban LTZ series. As you can see here, our handle's broken at the front mounting point, as well as the chrome is bubbling up. This is original handle, so this is pretty common for these vehicles. Whether you're looking to replace them because they're broken, or maybe you want to upgrade from black handles to chrome handles, you're going to need new handles from 1AAuto.com, small and regular size flat blade screwdrivers, 10mm socket with a ratchet and extension, and you'll need either a door panel clip tool, or you can make a putty knife work to pry the door panel off. And if you're doing the driver's side, you also may need a pick tool additionally. Disconnect the battery. You'll want to open up the driver's door, pull the hood release lever. There's a safety latch, move it to the right, and then lift the hood up. And the battery is near the rear of the engine compartment on the passenger side. There's a 10mm nut on top of the negative battery cable. Loosen that 10mm nut and pull the battery cable up and off. And then put it to the side so it won't contact the terminal again. Open up whichever door you want to remove. There's a little square clip on the door lock that you want to pry out with a small flat blade screwdriver. Then use a small flat blade screwdriver, pry that panel out. And then there's a little panel in behind the door handle that you pry out. And this is the same for either front door. And then you'll see there's a 10mm bolt there and two behind the door pull. So use the small flat blade screwdriver, pry out that square clip, pull that up and off, and then use a rag and to help protect the paint and pry out the triangle that's at the top of the door. It pulls straight off. And then 10mm socket and ratchet with an extension, and remove the 3 bolts. A screwdriver and a rag just to protect the door panel, and pry up on the switch panel, and then kind of work your finger underneath and pull it straight up, and you'll pull it up some and then pry up in the front. The clips are located right at the front and right at the rear. And then the harnesses are all connected with a connector that has just a little tab that you press and pull the connector down and out. You need to release the clips that hold the panel in. I've got a door panel clip tool and a rag again to protect the paint. Work the panel clip tool underneath and around the clip. And then I'm going to put the screwdriver between the clip and the rag and pry out on the clip tool. And you can hear it. You hear it pop the clip out. And I'll just repeat that. And I usually try and get the first 4 on the back side. And once you get those, then you can usually work your hand underneath to a point where you can kind of feel where the clip is, and then pull firmly, and you'll release the clips. If your door panel has never been removed before, you'll need to remove the water shield from the door panel. There's a black clip you can see there that I'm trying to pry out. There's usually 3 or 4 of these on each panel, so you try and pull the clips out, or you can pull on the water shield and either pull the clip out at the same time or pull the water shield from around the clip. And again, there's usually 3 or 4 of these on each panel. If your door panel has already been off, though, a lot of times they'll already have been removed. Now pull the door panel up and out, and it's still connected with the door handle cable. So looking in behind, there are a couple of tabs that hold the handle cable into the clip, release the tabs, and then you can pull the cable out and then out and the ball out like that. And your door panel is separated. Carefully pull your water shield back, and you can see actually the little black plug came off in my fingers. But pull the water shield back, careful not to rip or tear it, and you want to pull it down far enough that you can reach up in there to access the bolts, as well as sometimes you'll drop a bolt, so you want to be able to reach down into the bottom of the door just to recover anything if you need to. Handle's held on by two 10mm bolts. You can see through the hole. There's one there where the arrow points, and then moving back, there's a plug that covers this hole. Once you take the plug off, you can see the bolt right there. 10mm socket ratchet and extension, and you just kind of look in there and remove those two bolts. Now the front one on my handle is broken, so you're going to see later. I try and get it out there, but then I realize that the bolt is just spinning. I'll take the rear one out, and you can reach right up in there and grab hold of those bolts so they don't fall down. And then to remove the handle, you kind of pull it forward a little bit and you pull the handle out, and it comes down and out. And then you just twist it up and off the rod, kind of moving it back and forth, and then angle it up and off the rod. And like I said, the front one on mine, the plastic had broken, so I'm just going to grab hold of the plastic and pull it off the nut, and it's out. Okay, on the driver's side, you'll run into a little bit of a difference here. Everything up to this point is pretty much the same, but basically on the driver's side, the lock cylinder is connected to another rod, and you can see that red clip there, and you see that rod just popped out of there. It doesn't usually happen that way, but what you can do is, if you can get a little screwdriver in there and you can remove that rod from that clip. The other thing that you can do is, if you can't get the rod out of the clip, there is a clip that holds the lock cylinder in place, and I just removed the handle the same way. Now I'm just showing you if your rod's still stuck in there, the clip that I'm removing right now, you can get a pick in there while the handle is still in the door. You get a pick in there and pull the clip off that I'm pulling off right now. And once you pull that clip off, if you pull it off with a pick while the handle is still on the door, then you can slide the lock out and get the handle off. Original handle on top, our new handle from 1A Auto on the bottom, just with the plastic on it. All the armatures are still the same, and the mounting points are all the same. It's going to fit just like the original. Install a new panel. Just to avoid fingerprints, I leave the plastic on there, but make sure I pull it from the mounting surface and then put it down onto the door latch rod and twist it into place. And then you have to just kind of push the rod down a little bit and put the handle into place. And then there's a hook kind of more towards the rear that you want to hook in and then slide it back, and you might need to give it a little tap just to get it into place. Now you can reach in and start the two 10mm bolts that hold the handle in place. 10mm socket and ratchet with an extension, and tighten up those two 10mm bolts. Be careful not to over tighten, as you could break the handle again. And then put your water shield back in place, and then run a little test. Make sure your door is unlocked. Close the door and open, and you can remove that protective plastic. To reinstall, there are two larger clips at the bottom that you can kind of put into the door, and it will support the door panel while you reinstall the cable. Insert the ball of the cable into the handle and then move it around and clip it into place. Make sure that you pull up all the harnesses, make sure they're all up through that opening. Then you lift the door panel up and push it back and down onto the window ledge clip. The entire top of the door goes in the clip, and then once you have the window lid secured, then then you just can use your hands and lock in the clips all the way around. Make sure you pull the door lock up and put the door lock knob back in, slide it down on there, and then push the clip. I like to load the bolts kind of into the socket and then put them into place. And then I'll just fast forward here as I put all three of them in and tighten them up. For triangle back in place, the panel behind the door handle and the panel behind the door pull, all the harnesses are color coded and they only plug in one way. Replug those in and then put the switch panel back in place. And then reconnect your battery and you should be all good to go. Put the negative battery cable back on the post and 10mm socket, ratchet and extension, and tighten it up. Thanks for tuning in. We hope this video helped you out. Next time you need parts for your car, please visit 1aauto.com. Also check out our other helpful how-to as well as diagnosis videos.